Good evening, everyone. How was your day? We apologize for starting behind schedules. It's due to my system malfunctioning. My system was delaying to build, but finally we're here. So, how was your day? It's my pleasure to welcome you for this segment of the training. I think this is our day 11 of the training. So we are going to you know stop from where we start from where we stopped yesterday. We're going to continue from where we stopped yesterday, and I'm sure that you guys are following and you're catching up with what we have covered so far. For those of you that are just joining us, maybe this is your first time to join. Um, we have covered about how many modules now? We are about to finish module 3. So, what you do is to go back and listen to the videos we have recorded so that you catch up with us. And then, for those of you that are saying that you have not received your ADR certificate, those of you that did training on ADR, and you are yet to receive your certificate, reach out to us. Just reach out to me directly, or reach out to your group leader. They didn't reach out to me so that we can address it. If you had invalid serial number issues, we can help you to download the certificate for you. But you have to be patient so that I can get it to you. All right. So that is it. So then for those of you that are doing peace and conflict management that you don't have group yet, we crave your indulgence to also bear with us. We create more groups so that we allow other people to open their group so that we can have at least maybe 20 people in each group so that we'll not create more groups. Do you understand? Maybe we'll allow group leaders to repost their link so that people can join them to at least make 20 people in a group. I think that would be better so that we can maximize what we have instead of creating more groups. Creating more groups more means that it will take us more time to complete the simulation training. So it's better we minimize the groups and either get more people to participate in a particular group than to create more groups. All right, although 10 would have been more available for people to participate effectively. Do you understand? But I think it's good that we can just allow group members to share their link so that more people can join their groups. Do you understand? I think that would be better. All right. So thank you very much for your continued participation in this training, and we hope that at the end of it all, your time here will not be wasted. At the end of it all, the knowledge you acquire here will also not be wasted. Don't just use it in your organization. Don't just use it to get promotion. Don't just use it to get job, but also use it to impact your society, your community. So, which I agree that your job, your working place is your community, but you can extend beyond your working place to make sure that your community people also have, uh, you know, feel the impacts of your training. So, one of the things you can do is to tell somebody about the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. Let them know what is happening here. Invite them. Some of you are inviting people. Like today, someone said that I invited 10 people to also join this training. That is how it should be. So tell someone about what is happening here. There are young people in your community that may have no education at all. This can serve as a bedrock for them to pursue a career in peace and conflict resolution. Do you understand? So we train them at the basic level, train them at advanced level, and then they can be more productive in their communities and in our society. So tell someone about this training. Let them come and be part of this organization. Do you understand? So thank you very much as you do that. Thank you. So today we are going to look at the role of the NGOs and the civil society organization in peace building. All right, the role of the NGOs and civil society organizations in peace building. And maybe at the end of this training, some of you are still doing more training with us. Okay, next month we are going to do social justice and advocacy. All right, so if some of you we start NGOs, at the end of the training, you get knowledge that will help you to start an NGO. Do you understand? I say I will train you people on social enterprise management. All right, how to start and manage a social enterprise. Do you understand? I'm going to provide a training on that so that some of you can have the courage to go and start your civil society organization, or there's community-based organization, or you can start an NGO depending on your capacity. Do you understand? So and I believe that it's going to help us. Some of you can start something related to peace, some of you on climate change, some of you on development issues, some of you on conflict resolution, peace building, anything. You understand? Human rights issues, you know, you can start something and begin to do something and add value to our society. Do you understand? So that's what it is. So I'm going to organize that training so that you people can have know what it takes to start and manage a social enterprise. Maybe that will give you the motivation to start your civil society organization or non-governmental organization to impact our community. Do you understand? So that is it. So, but basically today we're going to look at the role the NGOs play in peace building. You all can agree with me that the NGOs, the civil society organizations, have been playing important roles in peace building, conflict resolutions, in conflict preventions. You understand? We have several NGOs, several civil society organizations who are doing a lot to make sure that we have peace in our communities. They provide humanitarian assistance, they carry out interventions, conduct independent research to bring out um, hidden secret human rights abuses that have been hidden. They go a long way to make sure that they unearth certain things that are hidden from the common people. Do you understand? So the NGOs and the civil society have been doing a lot despite the fact that the environment is not friendly. Many of them have been doing a lot. And then globally, we have different international organizations, non-governmental organizations that are doing a lot. Do you understand? Civil society organizations that are doing a lot. Some of them are not just domiciled in their own home country alone. They are operating in several countries. Take for instance, Save the Children. Save the Children is operating in almost all the countries around the world. Do you understand? Talk about Doctors Without Borders. They are operating in several countries. Talk about the Red Cross. They are operating in several countries. Do you understand? So, so many NGOs, so many organizations are operating in several countries. And what are they doing? Intervention, humanitarian activities, um, humanitarian services, you know, conflict resolution, reconstruction, all right? Even they help in reconstruction, trauma, healings and all of that. So different NGOs with different specialization, different, area of interest, and some of them in education. Do you understand? So we have several of them there doing a lot of things to make sure that our communities experience peace and people who are, affected as a result of war receive support, receive help, receive assistance to recover. All right. So this is what the NGOs and the civil society organizations are doing. So, and you also have the capacity to do something. And even if you are a civil servant, where you are serving your organization, there are also challenges. At the end of the day, maybe you can start a consultancy firm, you can start a civil society organization. Do you understand? If you are a security person, we can certify you as a certified peace and security consultant when you want to become a member of the institute. So when you retire from your office, you can be a consultant and provide consultancy in the area of security. You understand? So it has a lot of it involves takes a lot for us to contribute to make our society beautiful. But understand that it's a matter of sacrifice, right? These NGOs also do it as a matter of sacrifice because they are non-profit organizations. Do you understand? And you can see what I'm doing here is a sacrifice. All right. Nobody is paying me for it, but I'm doing it. And every day we are doing it. Why? Because I just want to impact my society in the best way I can. Do you understand? So that is just it. So, because if it's money that I'm looking for, maybe I would have monetized this training so that you pay me. Do you understand? And then I will get money. So I'll forget about other stuff. Do you understand? But it's just more than money. It's just more than money. It's gone beyond it. It's beyond money. You know, it's the passion that we have for our countries, just to make our countries beautiful and peaceful for everybody to live and fulfill their destinies. You understand? Because when I see kidnapping, when I see news of killings, when I see news of conflict, it breaks my heart. Do you understand? I'm not always comfortable seeing those sights or witnessing things like that. So for me, this is the best way I can contribute to make my society beautiful. And if eventually we have money to also reach out to community people, reach out to them to make sure that they also receive help, and then also use this thing, this that avenue to also teach them something and also empower them with skills, because this is not just what we can do alone. We have other things that we can do like vocational skills, right? That we can organize and train community people, empower them so they can earn a living, because that is the only way we can reduce peace, we can reduce conflict rather. Because many people are involved in certain crimes not because they want to, but because they are conditions to do it. They are conditioned make them to involve in such kind of crime. Do you understand? Poverty. Nobody wants to be in poverty. Do you understand? So if we can train people on vocational skills and empower them, then I can tell you that many people, many issues that we are having concerning crisis will reduce. Do you understand? So, but we are here now. This is what we can do now. So we are doing it. By the time we are able to raise funds, do you understand? To be able to organize such training, we can still organize them and empower people as much as we can. And it's one of the things I will be doing next year. It's going to be part of the activities I'll be doing next year. So I believe some of you will want to be part of that as well, just to help in as much as you can to make sure that we reach out to those people. So non-governmental organizations play a crucial role in conflict resolution. They work with the immediate and long-term solutions to prevent, mitigate, and resolve conflict. So it's not just about conflict resolution, but we do more of prevention and mitigation. Do you understand? Because they say prevention is better than cure. So it's better to prevent than to wait for conflicts to occur before you come with intervention. Intervention is more expensive than prevention. Do you understand? It takes me a little effort to be doing what I'm doing now, but it will cost me more if conflict occurs. Do you understand? It will take a lot of effort to make these things happen. And I'm doing this because there's no conflict where I am. If there is, do you understand? This thing may not be happening. I may be somewhere running. I may not have time to come and focus and do training. Do you understand? I will be on the run looking for safety with my family. Do you understand? So it will be so stressing to say you do what I'm doing now. It's because there's relative peace. That's what we can do it. So prevention is better than intervention. Do you understand? So it's better we work towards prevention. And the cost of prevention is cheaper than the cost of reconstruction. You understand? The cost of what? Prevention is also cheaper than the cost of reconstruction. So by the time you are to, put in more resources to rebuild, then it's going to cost us more. So it's better we should work towards what prevention. So and this is what NGOs does: more of prevention, mitigation, and what resolution where there's need for such. They come in and then interact with the combatants and see how they can resolve the crisis or help people that are affected as a result of crisis. So one of the roles that the NGOs play is the role of mediation and dialogue facilitation. You understand? They come in as a neutral body, as a neutral third party. They facilitate um, conversation, they facilitate mediation to make sure that the disputing parties, you know, come to an agreement, come to an understanding. You understand? Because sometimes people fight because they lack understanding of what is their concern. You understand? Or they fight as a result of misunderstanding. So you get them dialogue and get to know more about themselves and why they are in the situation where they are. So it will help them to resolve their conflicts better. You understand? So that is what it is. So NGOs facilitate this kind of conversation. They come in and then bring the disputing parties together and see how they can chart a path to peace. Do you understand? So NGOs often act as neutral third parties that can facilitate dialogue between conflicting parties. Their perceived impartiality allows them to mediate dispute and build trust among groups. So if you invite the Institute of Global Peace to come and intervene in your matter, or the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management decide to intervene in your matter, like I say, next year is going to be more of field work than office, office. Do you understand? Yes, we do office, but it's going to be more of outside work, doing research, doing intervention program, going on advocacy, and several other activities that we'll be doing next year. Do you understand? So I will want you to be part of this. And one way that you can be part of this to become a member of the institute, so that you can involve either in our justice forum group or in our youth forum group, that is youth in peace building groups, or the women in peace building groups, so that you can also contribute, or you can take a role in your chapter, in the state chapter, and then get involved. And then, of course, those of you that are joining us from other countries, by maybe before this month end, we will make an advert for those of you that want to represent the institute in other countries. But if you are coming to represent the institute, you must first and foremost become a member. Already we have 3 people in Kenya, or 4, that are becoming members. Already, in fact, they are paid. Some of them have finished, almost all of them have finished paying their fee. It's just to process their certificates, sent to them, and then we'll be training people. Um, I think I have someone also from Botswana also. All right, she is also willing to say that the institute in that is in that country. Then we have in Zambia as well. So those that are willing to represent, and I believe in Cameroon as well. Somebody was also speaking with me from Cameroon that want to see that the institute have an office in Cameroon as well. So those kind of people, we are going to train them. We are developing a manual for you, like a guideline in terms of operation. Do you understand? So that you can do your activities in your own country. Do you understand? And see how we work at a as a unified body. It doesn't matter your location. Do you understand? So we're operating together and see how we bring peace to our world. So those of you that will be interested to represent the institute in your own country, you indicate your interest. Maybe when we advertise for it, just be looking out for such before this month ends. So then we take you, and then by December we'll train you, because by December we're going to take break from the office. So I'll be focusing on those kind of training and other trainings with our chapters. Do you understand? So that next year January is going to be, you know, you know, stepping stepping up the work. You understand? Yes, it's a next level operation for next year. Do you understand? So that's what it means. So if you are going to be part of this, just arrange yourself, prepare yourself to be part of what we are doing here in your own country. All right. So now, um, another role that the NGO plays is the issue of early warning and conflict prevention. Right. Apart from dialogue, the NGOs also, um, the NGOs, the person in what I'm talking about is, she's online here, is making comment. I'm seeing it. So well done, man. So now the NGOs, apart from the fact that they facilitate dialogue, they also do what? Provide early warning systems and of course prevention. Do you understand? They are also doing a lot to make sure that um, they detect, they bring some factors and measures to detect when a situation is getting out of hand or is about to escalate. Do you understand? So such institutions are there to monitor. They monitor to make sure that, okay, to detect whether there is an issue that is going on. Yes, we there are several things that we are working on. So you get to know them in time as we progress. Do you understand? So we're working on several things. Some of them is it takes a lot of effort to put them together. So that is why we are putting them. You get to know about them later as we begin. Do you understand? So that is it. Um, so early warning system, and then prevention is also another role that the NGOs are playing to make sure that we get to be aware of conflict in time, so that we can be able to make efforts to prevent them. All right. So that is number two. Number three role that the NGOs plays is advocacy and raising awareness. All right. Advocacy and raising awareness. Yes. They advocate for peaceful resolutions, you understand, of conflict. So they also promote policies and practices that encourage dialogue over violence. Do you understand? So these are the issues. So they do a lot of things: advocacy and awareness program, raising awareness about the causes and consequences of conflict. If you can see a documentary that will drop today, just very short one, we are just trying to test run some things to see how it works before we go into details investigations to bring out certain documentary that you will get to know. You understand? But we did something on corruption and political instability. These things are root causes of conflict. Corruption, when corruption is so dominant in the system, it causes a lot of things, and of course, this can lead to conflict. It's corruption that can create unemployment. It's corruption that can create injustice. And these are the things that causes conflict. Do you understand? So corruption brings about discrimination. It brings about marginalization. It brings about exclusion. And these things can cause conflict. Do you understand? So these are the issues. So we did something on corruption. Maybe you can take time to watch it. I drop it in the afternoon. So you can take time to see it. Just listen to what we're trying to say there. Do you understand? So because a country can be so blessed with so much resources, like our country, Nigeria, for instance, blessed with in fact, African countries generally, blessed with a lot rich resources, diamond, gold, oil, you know, and several other natural resources we have in abundance, even, but we are not utilizing them. Do you understand? And even when we want to utilize them, we still misuse, abuse, mismanage. Do you understand? And then grab whatever we can get for our own self satisfaction, not minding the welfare of the people, of the citizenry. Do you understand? So this thing the reason why we are having Boko Harams. They are the reasons why there's crisis in the Republic of Congo. Do you understand? Because there's gold, and then gold that's supposed to be a blessing is now what is a curse. Do you understand? Because there are people that want to control these resources. Do you understand? And so it causing conflicts. Do you understand? So corruption cause conflict. So you can do advocacy program, raise awareness to tell people how bad corruption is, and what what the impact of corruption on the system. Do you understand? So you can do awareness, you can create advocacy. Do you understand? And then carry out provide propose certain policies that will help institutions to be strengthened, and then also procedural activities to be strengthened so that corruption will be reduced. Do you understand? Because some of these things, just institution needs to get strengthened. Once they are strengthened, institutions are not weak. Institutions are not, you know, doesn't have uh, lacunas in them. Then there's possibility that you can be able to reduce conflict. Do you understand? Reduce corruption, and this can go a long way to help the systems. So when a doctor is there as a public health doctor, you are working a public health, you don't need to go and open your private hospital, and then you are packing drugs that are meant for public health services to store in your own hospital. You understand? You understand? And then when you go to a public hospital, you discover that there are no drugs, there are no doctors available to attend to you. You go to the private doctors, private hospitals where we have doctors who now owns these private hospitals, and then what do you receive? You receive high bills that you cannot pay. At the end of the day, you lost someone. You understand? You lose someone, you lose a dear one. Do you understand? Because you cannot pay the bills, you go to private to public hospitals, no drugs, no doctors to attend to you. Corruption. Do you understand? So a lot of things. So advocacy and awareness creation is one of also the responsibilities of the NGOs. So you as a person here now listening to me now, you can decide to start an NGO. Your NGO will focus on transparency and accountability. Do you understand? We have Transparency International, right? It's an international NGO. You can decide to start your own. It can also be it can also have its vision or mission or goals, which can be transparency and accountability, and then you'll be helping to add value to our system. Do you understand? So this is what it means. So it is a role that the NGOs plays. We talk about early warning system. We talk about dialogue uh, and then mediation. Talk about advocacy and awareness creation. These are the three that we have spoken about so far. Let's look at another one, which is building local capacity for peace. Building what? Local capacity for peace. What we are doing here is capacity building. We come to understand that you cannot give what you don't. You cannot promote peace when you don't know what peace is all about. You cannot resolve conflict when you don't know what constitutes conflict. You don't know how conflict come about. How can you resolve conflict when you cannot know how conflict is being caused? You understand? Or you don't know the root cause of conflict. How can you resolve conflict when you don't know how to carry out conflict analysis? Do you understand? Can you? I have a topic that reminds me. I have a topic that I left. Conflict analysis. We have not done that topic. We are going to do it. Conflict analysis. Do you understand? So that you understand some things. We have some tools that we're going to consider when we want to carry out conflict analysis. Consider those tools, right? So we are going to explain them in depth so that you can have an in-depth understanding of what those tools can do for you when you want to carry out conflict analysis. So how can people promote peace when they don't know? How can they resolve conflict when they don't know how to carry out conflict analysis? How can we prevent conflict when you don't know that the attitude you are exhibiting is contributing? conflict. Do you understand? You're driving on the road, somebody brush you, and then you park on the road. You don't even clear to discuss your matter. You just park on the road, you come back, you don't care whether somebody is behind you or not. That's how we behave. Is that how it's supposed to be? Probably people behave like that simply because maybe someone may just run and leave you there. If you're trying to create space for them to come and discuss the matter, do you understand? But if someone that also really have feelings, they can stop. Even if they don't have money to give you, they can beg you, apologize. Do you understand? Even if you're angry, you still forgive them and move on. You understand? It's only me that I say that you brush me, no way, I cannot stop. One day I was coming back from the office in the night like this. Somebody just, I don't know what happened. I don't know where the man was looking. I overtook him before I know it from my back. Bah! I just hear like somebody was packing me behind. What is this? So when I turned back and look at him, I saw that his car squeezed inside. I did not stop because he hit me at back, so I didn't even bother myself. You understand? I did not stop. Somehow I slowed down. I look at what happened to him. So I discovered that he now navigate and stop. And then I decided to also stop ahead of him in front very far. But I didn't come down. You understand? So I just turned and look at what he was trying to do. And then I moved forward. So he drove and meet me. And then I didn't see my own what happens to my own first, but I just tell him sorry because I saw the damage on his own car. I was telling him sorry. Do you understand? And then I moved my own way. When I got to my check, I discovered I was even till today the thing is there. I was brushed, but because my car was a bit taller than his own, it did not affect me much like it affected him. And he parked me by the tire side. You understand? So it was so bad on him. But for me, it was just brushes and I moved. Do you understand? So that's how it is. I don't waste time discussing all those issues because you end up discussing, get tired, frustrated, disappointed, and at the end of the day, what do you get? If it's in the northern part of the country, the whole you get from us na yakuri. Like you kill yourself, but we give you yakuri. Do you understand? One day I was coming from Chicago, traveling through Jos, Bauchi, Jos Expressway. We were in emergency situation, emergency braking, and somebody just brake and met me behind. Bah! So I stopped. When I clear, I parked and then I came down to check. When I discovered that, I look at his car, bumper was on the ground, a small car. So bumper was on the ground already, scattered. I look at my back. I saw bumper just crack. I said, well, I'm sorry for what happens to you, but I hope you can be able to take care of yourself. I move. I said, I have a long journey to cover. See you next time. I moved my own way. Do you understand? I was living with my family. You understand? So I could not even waste time. So these are the issues. So here, you just go your thing. But if you want to argue, some of you will argue and fight. So these are the issues. So peace building, that's building local capacity for peace. So if you want people to promote peace, you must build their capacity. And that's what we are doing here. All right? Because we discovered that as an institution, we discovered that even some people that wanted to become members of the institute, some of them, when we hear the statement after they become members of the institute, here's statement they are making is not like a peace ambassador. So we say, okay, we have to train more, do more of training. Do you understand? So that people understand what the implication of becoming a peace ambassador. All right. So these are the issues. So what we are doing here basically is capacity building. Building capacity, it can help you in your organization, it can help you in your own personal life. Those of you that took course on emotional intelligence, you understand what I'm talking about here. It helps you as an individual, personal life. Do you understand? And then also it will impact your community. First and foremost, you yourself is first helped before you help your community. Do you understand? So, and that's why sometimes we insist that people should attend class like this so that you can hear from what I'm saying. Do you understand? It's not just read manual, because I use some practical examples to tell you real life experience. Sometimes I use my own personal experiences to share with you. Do you understand? So these are the issues. So capacity building. You cannot promote what you don't, you know, what you don't know. So peace building and capacity building is local capacity building is what we are doing here. The NGOs work to empower local communities to manage conflict on their own. You understand? Like I'm making effort now to work with. We're making effort now to work with some local government to see how we can train community people, most especially those that are on the border areas. They're always having conflicts. You understand? So we see how we can train those people at the border areas and other communities where they used to have conflicts to see how they'll be able to navigate those kind of situations. Capacity, right? So humanitarian assistance and post-conflict recovery. Yes, humanitarian assistance. Is it not so? So many NGOs provide humanitarian assistance, all right, and post-conflict recovery. Yes, humanitarian assistance can come in different ways. You can give relief materials. You can provide trainings. You can empower people. Do you understand? You can do a combination of all of this. Give relief materials, train people and empower them. Because sometimes you just train people and leave them like that. They may not be able to navigate. They may not be able to also access funds. So you train them, you empower them to start something and then begin to source for funds somewhere else to add or to continue. All right. So you don't train people and then you give them the skills, but you do not give them because not everybody that can be able to convert the skills into something else. So, but if you show them the way and support them, it will be better off for them to be able to navigate the situation. Do you understand? So we are going to be doing that. By next year, humanitarian assistance, the relief materials will be given, training will be carried out. Because if we train you like for instance now, we train you how to, know, rear chicken or fish. At least we can give you, um, you can have if we have 100 chicks to start with and feeding, right? Maybe 1 bag or 2 bags of feeding. I think it will go a long ways to help. Do you understand? So you have feeds and then you have 2 bags of feeds and then 100 chicken. I think chicks, or it will help you to start from there. Do you understand? And then grow on your own. All of this will be sourced from people, from institutions. Do you understand? I think we are having alumni now. So we also come to our alumni. I think some of you have joined the alumni group already. So we can also come to you. The alumni, we want to do something here. So what is the alumni community going to contribute towards that? I think it's going to be a good one, right? So and then you will also be contributing. You also be helping to reach out to people. If you cannot go directly, we'll go on your behalf. It's a good thing. At least it's in your record that yes, even if human being does not record it, God in heaven records that you also participated to bring relief in a particular community and also help some people to get out of poverty or to get out of their challenges. Do you understand? So that's what it means. So and it doesn't matter how much maybe as small as 100 naira, and it will go a long way to solve problems. Do you understand? So that is what it is. So human rights protection and transitional justice. So what NGOs does is to fight to protect the rights of the people, right? Women that are under domestic violence, or are suffering domestic violence, or are under their rights are being abused. Some of them used to receive such assistance, right? We have women groups that used to fight for them. know, I saw one video online sometimes ago that the guy used to beat his wife. So one day the women in the community, they gathered together, grabbed the guy. Eh, I don't want to tell you the story. It was not a funny story. They flogged the guy to a point. If they asked that guy to beat his wife again, it was women or they came out. You understand? And flog somebody to make sure that you also feel what it feels to be beaten. You understand? So I believe that that guy will never once beat his wife again, because those women were not looking like they will not come back again if they see such incident again. You understand? So that's what it is. So that's what we call community-based organization. That's a women group. Do you understand? We call them, they are part of the civil society organizations, but they may not have formal operation. They are informal organization, but they have their own place. You understand? And they contribute a lot to make our society peaceful. So, and then we have those groups that also fight for the rights of the people. Like we are having Justice Forum, the Justice Forum in the Institute. So this one is going to be a group that is going to be manned by members that are professionals, lawyers, and certified mediators and negotiators or arbitrators. These are the people that are going to be members of the Justice Forum. And what are they going to do? They are going to fight for the right of people that are in prison on just because you find yourself in a place that you are not supposed, or you didn't know that there's an issue. Police arrived there, arrested you in the name of investigation, and then you are rotting in prison. Do you understand? Or there are some issues that you don't even have to go to court. Mediation or arbitration or whatever negotiation can settle it. ATR can settle the matter. People are in prison, and some of them cannot afford bail, just simple bail. Some of them, their cases have been adjudicated and finished just to pay a certain percentage so that you can be released. No money, they are there. You understand? Such kind of people, this institution will be handling it. And then some people that will also, maybe you will feel that you are a policeman, you have gun, you have power, you are a security personnel, you can maltreat and abuse people's right and maltreat them, or you are a military man, you can do whatever you want to do and nothing will happen to you. These are the kind of people that we are going to be facing. So sorry for the military people, but for those of you that are peaceful, kudos to you. For those of you that you want that thing to, you take it as if it's a matter of, no, it's not for war. You are there to protect us, not to abuse us. Do you understand? So that's what it is. So, but when you forget your responsibility and you turn to be an abuser, then of course you'll be placed in your place. And then of course, institutions like schools where children are experiencing what we call bullying in their schools. Do you understand? Such kind of cases will be addressing that group. The Justice Forum will be addressing such kind of issues. And of course, domestic violence and other form of violence or land dispute issues, they can also handle such matters. You understand? So we're going to have a very important center that will be addressing that. And of course, sometimes we will also visit prisons, also work with police institution to make sure that certain issues don't take long to be resolved. Do you understand? So this is what this group is going to do. So human rights protection and transitional justice It's what we are talking about here. Do you understand? So I'm just giving you an insight of what our own group that is under an umbrella under Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management we're doing. Do you understand? So it's going to be carried out by the members of the institute. So that's what we'll be doing. And you can also have an organization that can be doing this. You understand? So we have several of them that are doing that. We have Human Rights Watch. We have so many of them. Do you understand? We have the United Nations Human Rights Commission. They are also there. They have been talking about this. They have been fighting for people's rights. Some of you are human rights activists. You make noise as even as an individual. You make noise for people. You understand? Make noise and make case for people. Just because somebody's right abuse is abused, and so you you stand by the person and make sure that you fight on the person, get justice. So that's what it means. So NGOs play this kind of role. You understand? Promoting inclusivity and engaging marginalized groups. You can take case of cases that are even when you look at the volume of the case, you feel because when it comes to the issue of marginalization, these are cases that have to do with governmental policies, programs. Do you understand? So, and these are the issues that you'll be fighting: women exclusion, um, minority groups being marginalized. So this kind of cases, you will be confronting governmental institutions, you're confronting leadership at different levels. You understand? To discuss this is going to be a very powerful. You understand? So, but when trying to make sure that you advocate for the inclusion of the marginalized groups, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of things to do to make sure that these people get exactly what uh, they deserve. So by involving marginalized and disenfranchised groups such as women, youth, and ethnic minorities in peace process, NGOs promote inclusive conflict resolution. Do you understand? So that people who suffer the most when there is conflict also receive help the most. You understand? And these are women and children. You understand? So research and policy recommendations. Research and policy recommendations. So as NGOs, we make policy recommendations. There's something we're working on now. That one is going to be like a mirror, a policy mirror that we determine what the policy of the government is saying or the legislation is saying. What does this how does this legislation promote peace? We mirror each legislation, we mirror down each policy of the government to see whether this particular policy promote peace or their element. So we assess it based on several factors. You understand? Carry out the analysis genuine and holistically, and then we'll come out with a final conclusion that this particular policy is aimed to promote peace or division in our system. So, and then we'll make recommendations and send it to whoever is concerned, whether a government agency or a House of Reps or the Senate or whoever that is concerned. Do you understand? We'll send it to them for our own observation and based on analysis. We can send the video, we can send the document, we can send the video. We carry out the analysis of the policy, a video format. We send it to them. We also send the document to them. Do you understand? So that they will understand what we are saying in the document by the explanation. I don't know whether you're getting that what I'm trying to say now. So it's going to be so already we are working on it. Do you understand? So we are just putting things in order to make sure that those things are going to be done effectively. It requires a lot of things, resources again, because we need to get some touch screens, training materials like touch screens. Do you understand? So that we can be able to carry out those kind of explanations easily. Do you understand? It requires a lot. But this is what we're going to do. It's very important so that we will know the kind of policies we are bringing out. So this policy seek for inclusion of all members of our countries, women, young people, the aged. You understand? We are going to carry out such analysis. It will going to be beautiful. You will see it. You understand? What is the aim? The aim is to make sure that any policy of government that is being carried out should be the one that promote peace, that promote unity, that promote progress. Nigeria, if you look at the Nigerian coat of arms, is centered on what? Peace, unity, and progress. So is this policy, for instance, now promoting peace, unity, and progress? All right. So so these are some of the roles that the NGOs play. Research and policy recommendations. Do you understand? So you can have an NGO that can carry out all of these functions. Like we now, we can carry all of these functions that I've mentioned here as an institute. We can carry out all of these functions. Do you understand? Your own may be on just research. Another person may focus on advocacy and just awareness. Another person may only focus on training. I'm giving you ideas. I'm giving business ideas. You understand? Some of you have such businesses already. All right. So we can work, we can even work in collaboration as well. All right. So that's it. So let's look at civil society, the importance of civil society in post-conflict resolutions. All right. The importance of civil society in post-conflict resolution. So civil society plays an essential role in post-conflict reconstruction by promoting stability, fostering inclusive development, and supporting the long-term recovery of affected communities. So we have those civil society organizations that are making different contributions for the recovery of regions that are affected by conflict. Go to the northeast in Nigeria, for instance. We have several of them that are working round the corner to make sure that we have peace. All right. So that is the idea. So now, what are the roles and the civil society organizations are playing? Some of them are closely related to what we have discussed, but just to add more to it, we talk about promoting social cohesion and reconciliation. Right. So civil society work to make sure that former combatants, former disputants still come together and work together. We can disagree without being disagreeable. That's what Obama said. We can disagree without being disagreeable. You understand? So it doesn't matter how we disagree, we can still work together. It's possible. So NGO or civil society organization work to make sure that social cohesion continue, people continue to work together, move together, interact with each other, coexist together. They ensure that people reconcile and genuine reconciliation take place. And the only way you can have genuine reconciliation is when you have established a truth commission whereby people can come and express how they feel and then reconcile. Marginalized groups can come and express how they feel and then reconcile to foster. Hey, do you understand? So that's what it is. So civil society organizations facilitate dialogue among previous conflicting groups, fostering trust and mutual understanding. Yeah, we We disagreed before, we conflicted before, but we can still work together. We can still coexist. We can still move together. All right. So cultural meetings, cultural exchanges, interfaith dialogue, all of these are means that you can use to reconcile. In countries where we always have religious problems, like our Nigeria, always religious problem, always politics put that on religious, on tribalism, on sectionalism, favoritism, nepotism, here and there. Do you understand? All of those issues affecting. Yet, all those things we can still reconcile and move together. When we had a Muslim ticket in our country, the thing it was so hype and it was so, it's as if this thing is not suspended, the country will just collapse and everything will finish. But after the election, we are moving. I'm not seeing where somebody say I'm going to leave this Nigeria because it's a Muslim uh, government. No, we are all here, and nobody has ever arrested me because I'm a Christian and then a Muslim is in power, so they are arresting Christians. No, I embarrass you. Are you getting a point now? So some of these things, it's because of ignorance that we look at them as issues. Whether it's a Christian, it doesn't matter. A Muslim, it doesn't matter. The only time it matters is when you are trying to use that to impose your own belief system on others. The only time it matters is when you are trying to use that privilege to segregate, dominate, marginalize based on those factors. That it becomes a problem. You understand? So that's what it is. But so far as that is not in place, then it's inconsequential. So when there's no element of marginalization, then when there's no element of domination, when there's no element of segregation, when there is no element of exclusion, then whether Muslim ticket is inconsequential, whether Christian ticket is inconsequential. But the challenge is that the negatives still do happen. You understand? So the role of the civil society organization is to help, despite these differences, so we can still work together. We can still unite. We can still. That is the reason why I have not come to understand the reason why we are failing as a nation to reconcile this after the civil war in Nigeria, rather. The civil war ended 3 years after it started, but it's taking us more than how many 50 years of existence to reconcile. We are not even putting it in plan to reconcile at all. We cannot continue like that. We must reconcile. We must reconcile, and certain things must be reconsidered, even including the constitution, so that we set things straight and make things to be so inclusive, make everything to be equal, make the system, the structure, because the structure itself is a problem, causing conflict. That's what we call structural conflict. Structural conflict is the worst form of conflict. You understand? Structural conflict is the worst form of conflict. systemic injustice, several issues that has to do with structural conflict. Do you understand? So the NGO work to promote social cohesion and reconciliation. So we must achieve reconciliation in this nation. Rwanda achieved it, they are moving forward. South Africa achieved it, they are moving forward. We must achieve it despite our religious system, despite our tribal differences, despite our cultural differences, despite our social orientation differences. We must reconcile because we are Nigerians. So Nigerians first, religion and other things second. Okay, advocating for justice and human rights. Civil society organizations often document human rights abuses and support transitional justice initiatives such as Truth and Reconciliation Commission or reparations for victims. So they ensure that people are accountable for their misdeeds. We can decide to go to the barracks and carry out investigation, carry research. What is happening in this barrack? You know, in the military, they say obey the last order, right? But you know that in there also there are abuses. Yes, there are abuses because some people abuse their power, abuse this respect, obey, obey. So this obey and this orientation that you have to obey. So whether I'm doing the wrong thing, but you have to obey because I am your senior, I am your guy. So being Oga, then I can do anything, but one should obey. So sometimes these abuses are being swept under this kind of orientation. But I think some of you have been watching Ember, right? Have been watching Break Family, right? Some of you have seen such intervention. So I am telling you that it's possible. You carry out those interventions, you carry out those investigations, you have those cases, you can address them, and they, and you will see that result will come out of it. Do you understand? So it means that if the military is not an exemption, it means that nobody is exempted. Even the presidency of a nation can also suffer this thing. I think we have Charles Taylor, right? Yeah, suffer. So if the president of a nation cannot be punished in this country, you can take him to International Court of Justice or to the International Criminal Court. You can get justice. Do you understand? You can get justice. So far as you have a strong case and you have concrete evidence, no way. In supporting inclusive governance and democratic processes. Yes. I think in Nigeria, for instance, we wanted to have electronic voting system where we're able to achieve electronic voting. Do you understand? We try as much as possible to make sure that we get a bill that has to do with electronic voting system, even though we did not get the result, but you know, there's still hope that we can still get it somehow, sometime as we progress. Do you understand? So democratic processes have been supported. I think if those of you that were in Ambassador Halima, you were not in our induction in Abuja here, but some of you that were there, But I think you join online and I think you hear what the panel were discussing. The panel of discussion were focusing on the aspect of the constitution that allows politicians to decamp from one political party to another under the under the under the under the ground that there are crises in the party. So someone can do what? Someone can decamp from one political party to another because there's conflict in that party or there are crises in that party. And so you agree with me that and the constitution make provisions that okay, and except it's at the national level, not even at the state level, but you discover that sometimes conflict at the state level also people make the cap and nothing happens to their seat, they still continue. So is that how it's supposed to be? So some of these things can be corrected. Some of these kind of constitutional provisions can be removed. You are in a political party, there is conflict there, stay there and resolve the conflict. If today your interest in that political party is not served, remain there and work hard to make sure that your interest is served. Must you decamp? Where are you decamping to? It's because we don't have political philosophies. Political parties don't have political philosophies. So people just, unlike we have the conservatives and the whatever. You understand? Here, the liberals. So here, everybody just woke up and join political. As soon as they discover that their interest in that political party is not served, they decamp to another one. So what do we want? So crisis. That's what we say crisis here, political instability. And these things are causing conflict. Do you understand? So civil society organizations work to ensure that inclusive governance. So that's why we have the issue of 40% affirmative action. What does that mean? It means that in our country here, Nigeria, for instance, it means that at least 40% of appointees in government should be women. You understand? That is a provision, a policy provision. So women should be appointed in government. But I think we have 40 something ministers of government in Nigeria. How many of them are women? So you go and find out yourself. How many of them are women? You understand? What about other political appointments of government? How many of them are women? In the presidency, those appointments that surround the presidency, special advisor, special assistant, special this one, special that. How many of them are women? I get a point now. So, so does it mean that we don't have women that are interested or are qualified to be appointed? Nobody has given a woman as my spokesperson. Yes, I've never seen a president in Nigeria appointed a woman as a spokesperson. Does it mean that women don't know how to speak? No, they are afraid because no women can talk and speak more truth than men. You understand? So I think they are afraid that women sometimes they give them something to go and say, they go and say something else. They go and just speak their minds. And some of the things sometimes government lie to protect their interest. And maybe the woman don't want to lie. To go and say the truth and be sacked. But the truth has been said. I get to the point now. So these are the issues. So women should also be appointed spokespersons of government, special advisors of something, something, something. I get a point now. It will be better like that. All right, let's move forward. So inclusive governance and democratic processes. So some of those democratic processes are causing conflict, like the one I'm talking about. Yes, sir. So we can decide to create, like the suggestion The kind of solution we were proposing in that panel of discussion was that before a, a politician is accepted in a new party, all right, you must bring a certificate, a certificate from maybe arbitration center, for instance, to say, or from a court of law, maybe you should, like, okay, you deploy all the means to resolve the conflict and settle the dispute, and all the means did not work. That's why you want to decamp, or you decamp. And before you decamp, you should be given a certificate to certify that yes, you have tried all you could, make effort to resolve the conflict, and also make sure work with the party, but it did not just work, and that's why you want to decamp. But when we don't see that certificate, now you cannot decamp. And if you decamp, the party that you are going should not accept you. Do you understand? So the party should also have provisions that the campaign should not be accepted until they tender that certificate. Yes, we know that in our country, people will go and be procuring and paying for those certificates, but do you understand? At least it will give us more meaning. People will not just be decamping when they sleep and wake up and feel like decamping, they decamp. No, it's not like that. And then nobody go and causes conflict intentionally to come and decamp. We investigate because sometimes people may want to decamp, but they may not directly cause the conflict. They will go through people and cause the conflict, and then decamp. So we can still investigate. You understand? So delivering humanitarian aid and basic services. So civil society organizations also provide this kind of services. Do you understand? So by meeting the immediate needs of those that need help. Then we'll talk about building economic opportunities and livelihoods. Many CSO train people, empower them economically, you understand, and make them viable, right? Make them to be productive. So economic opportunities. Some of them create jobs, you understand? Create jobs. So you too, if you go and start your own, or you create jobs, you employ people. They are helping you to do the work you are paying them. You take some burdens from the society, take burdens off the shoulder of the government. You understand? I am working here. It's not government that is paying me. We have others that are working with us as well. So the organization pays us. So at least the organization has taken the burden off the shoulder of the government. We are not putting pressure on what government can provide for us. What we are talking about is give us a you know a smooth business environment, or you know an enabling environment. Let us just do what we need to do and give us opportunities. If we come for collaboration, we come for partnership, consider us. These are the things. Do you understand? Mhm. So by so doing, when you give us your money, we will account for it. Because when you give agencies of government the government money to do something, you see accountability is a challenge. You understand? You will not see anything, but the money will also not be accounted for again. Or you see something of substandard, and then you hear bees and months. So encouraging community-led reconstructions and empowerment. Encouraging what community-led reconstruction and empowerment. CSU also advocate for community-driven approaches to reconstruction. Yes, let the community rebuild by themselves. Nobody can come and build your community for you, right? You can carry out the rebuilding process by yourself. Build it the way you want. Build it according to your own plan. Build according to your own trust. People can only come in to support you, but they cannot come and build for you. So if Encouraging community-led reconstruction and empowerment is better. So that people can learn the skills that even will help them within their community. Do you understand? And then they can be productive. Fostering peace education and conflict resolution. Fostering what? Peace with education and conflict resolution skills. January, we're going to take peace education. Must carry out a peace education activity in your community, either in school or I'm thinking by January, school should resume. So you can go to schools and do some things. You understand? Carry out some kind of educational awareness. At least you do it, video it, and send to us before we issue a certificate. If you don't do it, forget it. You will not get certificate. Mhm. So that will be practical. So you go to school or you go to your community, organize something, do an event. When you are done, snap it or video it, send to us when we are satisfied that yes, this thing we have done it well. Then we can give you peace education certificate. Otherwise, you will not get it. You understand? The first people that we train, those one we just train them 7 days. It was just a 7 days training. So that one will just give them a certificate. But this one, professional diploma, you must go to school and do something and show us what you have done before we give you the certificate. So fostering peace education and conflict resolution skills. So you can go and even talk to young people how to peer group coexistence and all of that interaction. They will then have to interact with themselves, young people, peer groups. Do you understand? They should learn how to interact with themselves. Or you can organize something for community people, community association. You can initiate a meeting, go and meet the community organization, tell them this is what you have. You are doing a training, and they ask you to organize a training for them. So they should give you an opportunity to organize a training for them, record, video it, send it to us. Once we are satisfied, you write your exams, get your certificate. Makes sense, right? So that will be practical. So I will not just be talking here. Some of you, apart from getting this certificate, you just get certificate or you get these skills, you just want to sit on them. No, it's not good. So you get it, go and go and do something to impact your society. That's it. So monitoring and advocacy for continued peace building efforts. So we continue to go on and on doing it. All right, we cannot stop. We need to continue to do it and do it and do it more until we get results. So monitoring, carry out data, carry out information, receive information, carry out data, monitor to know what is going on, how far, what is working, what is not working, what needs to change, what needs to be improved, all of those things. Do you understand? So CSOs they serve as a watchdog, monitoring peace, conflict, post-conflict development, and holding government and international actors accountable for their commitments. All right. So that's what they do. So finally, for today, we want to see some of the several case studies of NGOs that have made significant contributions to conflict resolution, humanitarian assistance, and post-conflict reconstruction in conflict zones. Do you understand? So, number one of those institutions is Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. We should clap for us. They're also doing something. But we have another one here, which is number two. That was number one in my record here, but Institute of Global Peace has taken the place of number one. So number two is International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, right? So they work in Ghana. In fact, they have offices. They have across all the countries of the world. It's one of the largest international organizations. The founders of this organization receive peace Nobel Peace Prize Award. You understand? The founders of this organization. They receive what? Nobel's Peace Prize Award. Not just only them that receive it, even the organization itself receive not once, not twice, I think up to 3 times, if I'm not forgetting my record. International Organization Committee of the Red Cross. I think they receive the Nobel Peace Prize award up to 3 times or two. You understand? I'm sure of two. The three are I'm doubting, but two is confirmed. They have received, and then the founders themselves also receive. So the organization has been doing a lot across the globe. You understand? So the ICRC operates in some of the world's most intense conflict zones, including Afghanistan and Syria, providing humanitarian relief in active war zones. Active war zones. They are in Gaza, they are in Lebanon, they are in Afghanistan, they are in Syria. You understand? So the role of the ICRC is to offer critical services like medical care, water and sanitation support, and aid to displaced populations. So they also work to protect civilians by promoting adherence to international humanitarian law and assisting in the reunification of families separated by conflict. So that's what they do. So what is their impact? Their continued presence on the ground has saved countless lives and alleviated suffering. The ICRC's neutrality and impartiality make it one of the few organizations that can maintain access in highly volatile areas because they are a neutral institution. They don't come from anybody's interest. They come just for the interest of those that are suffering. So they can access anywhere. They go anywhere. You understand? But there are some organizations that they want to, they will be limited. All right. Then another one is Doctors Without Borders. Some of you may be working with this organization that I'm talking about. Doctors Without Borders. That's Medicine Sans Frontiers. You understand? So they work in Yemen and Democratic Republic of Congo, right? So provides emergency medical assistance in countries like Yemen, which faces ongoing civil war, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, which has suffered from multiple conflicts. So what's their role? MS, MSV, MSF operates hospitals, clinics, and mobile medical units in conflict-affected regions, providing critical healthcare, surgery, vaccination campaign, and treatment of malnutrition and infectious diseases. Good idea, yeah? These are NGOs. You too can start. See that creative thinking. Mobile health services, carrying out surgeries in war zones, treatments, medical care, several. Yes, Doctors Without Borders. They work in several countries. Some of you may be working with them as you are talking with you now. Some of you are working there. So what do you need to do? Yeah, it requires a lot anyway. But when you start something, you can see the path to navigate. Do you understand? So don't just think about how difficult it is to start. All right. So Medicine Sans Frontiers has made healthcare accessible to thousands of civilians who would otherwise lack medical support due to destroyed infrastructure, high-risk zones, or resource scarcity, like the situation in Gaza, where hospitals are being destroyed, so many things destroyed. These are the institutions that are sustaining them there. You understand? So we have Mexico's, Iraq, and Nigeria. This institution operates in Nigeria and Iraq, providing support to people that were displaced or were affected, in conflict. So Mexico focuses on economic recovery, community rebuilding, and peace building. In Iraq, they support small businesses, youth job training, and community-led peace initiative. In Nigeria, they work on conflict management and help communities to resist extremist recruitment by improving access to education and economic opportunities. Right? That's Mexico. They are still working here. They are around. They are in the northeast. Right? Then we have search for common ground. Yes, we still have them around as well. We have them in Burundi and the bankers. Right? They operate in conflict-prone areas worldwide, including Burundi during its ethnic conflict and the bankers following the Yugoslav war. So all of those things are there. So search for common ground promote peace through media and community-based approaches. In Burundi, they use radio programs to build dialogue among ethnic groups, while in the bankers, they facilitate youth-led peace initiatives and media campaigns for reconstruction, reconciliation. Search for common ground. The Halo Trust, that is Afghanistan, Angola, Cambodia. The Halo Trust is dedicated to clearing landmines and unexploded ordnance in post-conflict areas, including Afghanistan, Angola, and Cambodia. They are also this one they do dangerous job. So bombs that did not explode or the landmines, their own job to pick them up so that they will not explode. They do not detonate. Do you understand? They do a lot of things. Very dirty job. I call it dirty because it's a high risk job. Do you understand? So the organization conduct mine clearing and education on explosive risks, making areas safe for communication to return, farm, and rebuild. Do you understand? Here International, South Sudan, and Myanmar. Here International operates in areas facing protracted crises such as South Sudan civil war and Myanmar internal conflicts affecting ethnic groups. And some of you, as I'm speaking with you now, you're working with them. All right? It's an NGO from UK. You understand? Care International. It's from UK. And they do a lot of things at the international level. So this is the rules and this is the impact of the NGOs. So the NGOs and the civil society organizations are doing a lot to bring peace to our world. So are you ready to go and start your NGO or your civil society organization? Please, you may not necessarily be like the Save the Children. You may not necessarily be like Doctors Without Borders. You may not necessarily be like the International Committee of the Red Cross, but you can start something in your community to address your community problems. Focus on your community. And if God help you, your organization grow to a point to become an international organization, so be it. But your interest should first be your community because that's where you are, that's where you live. Should conflict before your community, will you survive? Will your family members survive? Will your loved ones survive? So your community should be your give a major issue, a major priority. You understand? So that's what it is. So thank you very much for opportunity to listen to this conversation, and we appreciate you and your contribution. So but if you don't want to go and start your own, come and join us. Be a member of the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management, and then participate. Join hand with us. We can work together. You must not necessarily own your own because owning and managing is another part of a story altogether. So Not very many people want to go through that stress, but so you can just join hands with us. We can do things together, or you can just serve as an alumni. You may not be you can contribute in one way or the other to reach out to people. Do you understand? So our induction in Port Harcourt is coming up this Saturday in Port Harcourt. That's River State. So those of you from South that apply, you can be inducted in Port Harcourt this Saturday. And those of you that apply for Abuja induction or that want to apply for Abuja induction is still open. Application is still open. So if you can make it and apply on the 30th, you'll be inducted. Right? So if you want to become a member of the institute, the induction is still on. The convention is also going to take place on the 30th, 29th, and 30th. So make yourself available. You can be part of the convention, you can be part of the induction. Anyone choose. And for those of you that say, I don't want to travel, okay, traveling for induction is my challenge. I cannot attend physical induction because of engagement, because of I'm busy with work, onshore, offshore. Uh, my job doesn't give me the opportunity to travel like that. Good news is that we are going to have online induction in December. Before this year ends, we are going to have online induction. So you can apply to be a member of the Institute by joining online induction. All right. So those of you that wants to become a member of the institute, but you don't want to travel, you don't want to face the risk of traveling, now we have kidnapping on air as well. There's kidnapping in this country on air. If you go by air, they kidnap your pocket. You go by land, another challenge. Do you understand? So people are just afraid of traveling. So if you cannot travel on air because the airfare is very, very, very high. One way is 200,000 more than, and then you have to pay accommodation, hotel fee, feeding, you know, an induction fee, all of those things. When you look at it, you feel that there's no wisdom in it. So you can save the money for airfare, you can save money for GUO transportation, you can save money for accommodations, you can save money for feeding, and then you also save yourself from the risk associated with traveling and all of that. Induction will be online in December. You'll be in the comfort of your house. We'll induct you. After that, we'll send you your materials. You become a member, and from there, you continue to participate. Join your chapter there, and then you begin to participate effectively. I think that's a good idea. So even if you are from outside Nigeria, you can still join. You understand? I have people from Kenya that already have paid their own induction fee already. You understand? So you too can take part. All right. So thank you very much. Do I have any question? Yes, people are asking questions. Please, does Rockefeller Foundation still in existence? Very, very much in existence and very strong. Please, does Rockefeller Foundation still in existence? Very, very in existence and very, very strong, very active. All right. Another question. When do we get our serial number on peace and sustainable development? The serial number is already ongoing. We group you in batches. Batch A is if your serial number on the examination result is 1 to 50. If that is your result, do you want to look at the result sheet? So number 1 to 50, that is batch A. I think they have started receiving their link today to download their certificate today, their serial number, all right? So, and then, so when the dates given to them, I think they have 2 days or so to receive that serial number. So when that day is over, you check your date and the day, your schedule. So from 1 to 50, 50, 51 to 100, 101 to 150, from 151 to 200, and then from 200 to 250. I think 5 batches. So just check where you fall and wait. When your schedule comes, you send your serial, you send your details. because you have to send your name, your serial number on the result, and then of course your your scores before you get the serial number. Do you understand? So once you provide those details, you can get your serial number and download your certificate. So make sure you are in our WhatsApp group to get those details. And then somebody is asking for the link for our Alumni platform. Yes, it's on Telegram. We created a Telegram. So the person that is distributing the serial number for peace and sustainable development, she will be sharing the link with you. Once you share the serial number, she will share the link for the alumni group so that you, because you don't want just people who are not trained to find themselves in that group. It's only people that we have trained and have gotten the certificate from this training or from any of our trainings that are going to be part of the alumni. Do you understand? So once when you send your details to get your serial number, the link for the alumni group also will be sent to you so that you can join the group. Do you understand? It's on Telegram because we are anticipating to get more people join the groups. So that's it. How does doctoral fellow awards compensate for academic PhD qualification from university in US, Canada, and UK? Well, doctoral fellow is a highest membership category of the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. And we don't just award it to anybody, we award it to people who have master's degree or PhD. Do you understand? And so we expect them to, there are a lot of things that we engage our doctoral fellows to do, being the most highest and the most respected membership category. They have several assignments to do. You can also lecture our academic students and a lot of that. Do you understand? So it's a membership category in the institute. We can give them roles to represent the institute at whatever capacity based on their experience and qualification. So and that is how it works. Somebody is saying, Prof. Vic, there have been concerns and controversies surrounding the activities of some NGOs in northern part of Nigeria. Yes, there are such kind of suspicion, there are such kind of concerns, but they said verified. Some people feel that some NGOs are causing problem, and of course, and that's why we're talking about the issue of Red Cross. We say Red Cross because of its neutrality can access anywhere. Do you understand? Why there are some of these organizations that may have see limitation here and there restrictions because nobody knows them, they don't know their mission yet. Because there are some feelings that some of these institutions they are the ones that are perpetuating some of these conflicts. Do you understand? Making sure that crisis continues so that they get more funds and they do all those things. But those things are just allegations. We don't see the concrete reason or truth for it yet. You understand? But it's good that we should have. I think that there's one. I was listening to one conversation. I think at the some members of the African Union or so. There was. I think there's a lady that was saying that there's a need for us to have our indigenous NGOs to carry out interventions in our programs, in our issues. Do you understand? So that foreign institutions coming in to intervene, they come with their challenges. Do you understand? So we should have local NGOs who can intervene in these issues. So carry out such interventions instead of bringing international organizations. The international organization should rather excuse themselves or give the local organization the resources they have to carry out those interventions. Do you understand? So it is like that. But let's see. So it's just an allegation. We don't know how um, authentic the information is. It can be true. It cannot be true. Do you understand? So but there are those concerns. Concerns are always there, and they will always be there because sometimes it's politics. Like I'm saying that maybe some local ONGOs want to have control of the issues in their country, they may begin to come up with this kind of uh, issues so that international organization can be chased away so that they will take control of their own situation. Do you understand? So that is it. And so if you have gotten, somebody's asking that I have already gotten my certificate on ADR, so how can I get to the alumni? And since you are doing peace and conflict management, when you are getting the certificate of this one, because this is just a new initiative. So when you are getting the certificate for this one, you can join because you don't want to go back again. We have a lot of work. So when you are getting the certificate for this one, you get the link for the alumni. So thank you very much. We'll see you on Thursday. We are not having training tomorrow, but a rebroadcast of this meeting will be conducted tomorrow. And then, of course, I'm going to engage you in our WhatsApp group. So just hang around in our WhatsApp group so that we'll sort out the issue of the various groups. So those of you that we give you the leadership position of those groups that you did not do anything, we are going to change them. Any group that we have not seen their group link to share in a group, we assign another person to create the groups and coordinate. And then, of course, we'll still advise that maybe more groups should open up. And those groups that have 11 members should open up for more people to join. Maybe we'll have 2020 because we have more than 800 people that have registered so far. So I think we should open up more groups so that people can come in so that we'll have at least 2020 in the groups so that we can be able to get the number that we want. Do you understand? So I think that is fine. So thank you very much. I'll see you, Mr. Francis. It's been a while, but it's good to see you. I'm talking about Francis Odusanya. Thank you very much. I'll see all of you by Thursday. Thank you and have a wonderful night. Bye.